The aim for this lesson is for you to know what volume is, and then for you to be able to calculate the volume of cuboid shapes. So what is volume? Volume is nothing to do, in this case, with turning up the sound on the television. Volume in maths is about the space an object takes up. Capacity, which is what we looked at last week, is how much of a substance can be held in an object. This could be a solid, like crisps in a bag, liquid, like Coke in a bottle, or a gas, like oxygen in a diver's tank. Capacity and volume are similar, but they are different things. Capacity is what we looked at last week when we explored litres and millilitres, if it's a liquid or a gas, and grams and kilograms if it's a solid. Volume, though, is measured in cubic units. To explore cubic units, let's first go back to talking about squared numbers. Squared numbers is what we talked about when we talked about area. Area in squared numbers is when we look at two dimensions, length and width. As you can see from this picture, the numicon in the picture is 2 units wide and 2 units long. 2 times 2 made 4 units squared. Volume, though, is different because we're talking about how much space is taken up by an object. For example, how much space the water takes up in your bottle, how much space the vegetables take up on your plate. Volume is measured in cubed units because we're talking about things in 3D. The objects have a height, a width, and a length, unlike area when we focus on just 2 dimensions. Have a look at the picture below. This time I've added another second numicon on the top. This means both of them are 2 long and 2 wide, but there is 2 of them, meaning it now has a height of 2. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. That means the volume of these 2 numicon is 8 units cubed. Cubed is represented by the small 3. Look what I did next. This time I've added a third numicon to the tower, meaning I've increased the height dimension by 1. Using the formula for volume, I can find the total amount of space this shape takes up. The formula is height times width times length. I've shortened this to just the first letters. I can show that 3 times 2 is 6 and that 6 times 2 is 12. This means the volume of this shape is 12 units cubed. Now that you have the formula, I want you to answer these 2 questions. What would the volume be if I added a 4th layer to the numicon? What about if I added 10 layers? Pause the video here and give that a go. If I had 4 layers, the question would look like this. 4 times 2, which is 8, times that by 2 is 16. If there was 4 layers, the answer would be 16 units cubed. If it was 10 layers high, the formula would have a height of 10. 10 times 2 is 20. 20 doubled is 40. So, if it was 10 layers high, the answer would be 40 units cubed. That would be the volume. Now you know the formula, let's try and complete the table. I've done the first 2 rows for you. In this table we're going to look at shapes which are all cubes. This means all the sides are the same. So a cube with all the dimensions of 1 has a volume of 1 cubed. In a cube where all the dimensions are 2, it has a volume of 8 cubed, because 2 times 2 is 4 and 4 times 2 is 8. Your job is to complete the rest of the table, pause here and give that a go. Before you look at any questions this week, here's a challenge. Look at the cereal box. It's 10 in height, 8 in width, 2 in length. I'm saying the volume is 500 because the side of the packet says 500 grams, so the volume is obviously 500. Am I correct? Show your workings to explain your answer. Pause the video here and give that a go. Let's have a look at the answer. Using the formula, I would have got the height of 10, the width of 8, and the length of 2. 10 times 8 is 80, 80 doubled is 160. The answer is 160 units cubed. I also in the question haven't stated the unit of measure I'm using. If I'd said centimetres, I would have got 160 centimetres cubed, for example. Secondly, I'm wrong because 500 grams is showing the capacity of the box, not the volume, meaning that I've misunderstood the difference between volume and capacity. There we are. Let's recap what we needed to do at the start of the lesson. We were aiming to find out what volume was. Well, we now know that that is the space an object takes up. And we were looking at how to calculate volume and how to express it, which we've done with the formula. Height times width times length. And we know that that's done in cubed units, whether that be cubed centimetres, cubed metres, cubed millilitres, whatever that is, that's how you measure volume. Give the questions a go, same as last week, amazing, fantastic and brilliant, same levels. Any questions, let me know.